Is the housing market in a bubble? That's going to be the topic of today's video. Now, before watching this video, check out my content at adamfire.com, especially if you're an expat or a high net wealth individual. Now, one or two of my followers have asked me a simple question. Do I think the UK housing market is in some kind of bubble? Now, the interesting thing is, one of my most popular videos talks about what few people tell us about the UK housing market, and that's a very simple mathematical reality, and that's that in 2007-8, just before the crisis, UK housing prices were at records both in nominal terms, inflation adjusted terms, and even adjusted for wages, prices were at a record high. However, then prices fell, and they have been recovering since 2013. So from 2008 until 2013, whilst there was increases in the nominal house price, adjusted for wages, prices were going down. So in other words, in 2013, the average house price to wage ratio in the UK on average was very low. It was a decent time to buy a house, but in the last 7 or 8 years, things have been recovering. However, in 2021, despite a great 1 year for house prices, whilst the nominal prices have hit a record high and the real inflation adjusted prices have hit close to a record high, but not a record high, the house price to wage ratio is not as high as just before the crisis in 2007 and 2008. So the answer is, I don't think the UK is in a housing market bubble. It also depends on interest rates though. If interest rates go up a lot, you could make the argument this is a bubble, but I don't think it's a bubble. And I'm talking from the perspective of someone who is not a real estate investment bull by any means. Anyone who's been following my content for a long time knows that I'm not one of these people who advocates loads of investment into real estate. So what I'm saying should be taken seriously. That doesn't mean I think everyone should rush and buy a house in the UK. Because I think if prices keep going up, it could become a bubble. But right now, I think what we've seen in the last 13 years is UK prices getting back to where they were or close to where they were before the end of the crisis. But interest rates are so low at the moment. With interest rates being below, well, pretty much 0%, but even if interest rates go up to 1% or 2%, prices are still relatively low, adjusted for that fact. I think if interest rates go up much higher, then you can make an argument that you're looking at something which is too highly valued. But right now, I think as more people are looking to upscale their houses because of the pandemic, they're using the money they've saved from their commutes in some cases to upscale their house. I don't think it's a bubble, but it won't be like this forever, right? Prices will go down, prices will moderate, and already we're seeing that because now that the stamp duty changes have been made, you can no longer pay 0% on stamp duty. Price rises have moderated. So it's not going to be like this forever, and it wouldn't be in anyone's best interest if prices kept going this high long term. How can I help you? In 2 ways. First of all, are you an expat, a high net wealth individual, or just somebody who lives in a part of the world where it's difficult to get access to quality investment solutions? In which case, go onto my website on adamfire.com and find out more. If you don't fit into any of those categories, then in which case there's a range of free material on my website, on this YouTube channel, and indeed on my Quora, where I get over 200 or have received over 231 million views in the last few years. And finally, if you want to actually read my thoughts in more detail, go onto Amazon and find my book on there.